Hello! In this explainer, we're going to break down a critical strategy for any modern content marketer: AI content repurposing. Based on extensive RedHub AI research, we'll walk you through how you can multiply your content's impact, but without multiplying your effort. Let's get started.
This idea is really at the heart of our analysis. For years, the main challenge was simply creating enough high-quality content. But what RedHub AI research shows is that for most teams today, that's a problem that has largely been solved. The real challenge, the new bottleneck, is making sure all that great content you're creating actually reaches an audience.
So first, let's really frame this problem. You see, so many creators pour a ton of resources into a single, fantastic piece of content, only to see it have a disappointingly short lifespan and a very limited reach. It's just not working as hard as it could be.
And these scenarios are probably familiar to a lot of you. They're these common dead ends where the potential value of your core content just gets lost. Think about it. A podcast might have the seeds of a dozen social posts inside it, but they're never actually planted. A webinar could contain an entire ebook, but that ebook is never written.
So what our analysis at RedHub identifies is that this shift is really the #1 challenge for creators heading into 2026. Your competitive advantage isn't just about the quality of that one big asset anymore, it's about the leverage you can create from it through really smart distribution.
Okay, so now that we've laid out the problem, let's talk about the solution. The strategic answer to this whole distribution challenge is a process that's really being unlocked by new technology: AI content repurposing.
Let's define this from first principles. At its core, AI content repurposing is all about using technology to do the manual, really time-consuming work of reformatting content. It takes one content seed, let's say a video, and automatically generates multiple different assets from it, and each one of those is tailored for a specific platform.
So that brings up a really important question, right? There are so many tools out there. How do you actually identify one that's going to be effective? Well, through a lot of RedHub testing, we've identified 5 kind of non-negotiable capabilities that separate the truly elite tools from all the rest.
You see, a high-performing tool does way more than just cut and paste. It needs to have multi-format intelligence so it can understand how to turn audio into text. It has to provide platform-specific optimization because a LinkedIn post is totally different from an Instagram reel. It also needs to maintain your brand voice, be aware of SEO, and ideally integrate directly with your distribution channels.
Okay, so we know what to look for. Now let's get an overview of the tool ecosystem itself. To make sense of this market, our RedHub analysis breaks these tools down into categories based on what they're primarily designed to do.
The first big category is all about deconstructing long-form media. These are the tools that take your raw video or audio files, like a podcast or webinar recording, and they turn them into text and smaller, shareable clips.
And you can see 2 different approaches here. Descript is more of an editor. You can literally create video clips just by highlighting text in the transcript. It's fantastic. Otter.ai, on the other hand, is really a specialist in knowledge extraction. It's great at pulling out summaries and key points from conversations, which is perfect for a lot of B2B content.
All right, that brings us to our next category. These are the tools that take that raw text, often from the transcription tools we just talked about, and they transform it into polished, ready-to-publish marketing assets.
Now, if we look at 2 of the leaders in this space, RedHub testing shows that Jasper's real strength lies in its brand voice memory. It makes sure all the outputs sound consistent with your brand. Copy.ai, on the other hand, is really built for speed and volume, which makes it excellent for quickly generating lots of variations for, say, social media testing.
And then there's this really powerful category: tools that automatically convert your written articles into videos. This is a game changer because it lets teams that don't have video editing expertise repurpose all their existing blog posts into formats that work great on YouTube or social media.
This brings us to what might be the most critical part of this entire explainer. You see, having the right tools is necessary, for sure, but it isn't enough. The real leverage, the real power, comes from integrating these tools into a repeatable system.
Because here's what our analysis kept showing. The strategic advantage isn't found in any single piece of software. It's found in the workflow that connects these tools together to create an automated engine.
And this is what we call the RedHub blueprint. It's a 5-layer stack that gives you a clear step-by-step framework. It all starts when you capture your core content. Then you use AI to transform it. From there, you generate multiple formats, distribute them automatically, and then finally, you use analytics to optimize that entire process.
So what this stack really does is it turns the whole strategy into an actual process. It takes that one single piece of content and builds an automated system around it that can consistently produce and distribute new assets for you.
So to wrap things up, let's focus on the practical impact of actually implementing this system. What does it really look like in terms of your output when you build a content engine like this? Well, this number, which is derived from RedHub's own implementation of these systems, really illustrates the kind of leverage we're talking about. A single one-hour recording can be systematically and automatically transformed into over 20 distinct content assets, everything from video clips and blog posts to social graphics and even email newsletters. And this is the key takeaway. The whole paradigm is shifting away from this constant cycle of creation, and it's moving to a new model. Create once, then follow that with automated scaled distribution. This really is the future of efficient and effective content marketing.
So, if you want to put this into practice in your own operations, the path forward is actually pretty clear. It requires selecting the right combination of tools and, just as importantly, integrating them into the systematic workflow that we've outlined.
Now, today, we've covered the core concepts and just a few of the key tools. For a really deep dive into over 15 different tools and the full implementation details of the RedHub blueprint, we encourage you to read the complete analysis on RedHub.ai. Thank you.